I'd like to introduce Lily Dulan, who I'm interviewing on behalf of Aspen Business Connect. Welcome to Aspen, Lily.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. Lily's tuning in from Snowmass, and I'm Lady Fuller, Habits for Happiness coach and a member of Aspen Business Connect. So thank you so much for joining us today, Lily.
Thank you.
And Lily's here to talk to us about her brand new book, Giving Grief Meaning, which has so much more meaning today than it maybe has ever had, because we have a whole world who's grieving through COVID and so many other things. Yeah, our hearts are all hurting. So much to learn from you, Lily. So she's here to spread her light and love to all of you. So let's open by, telling us about you. So Lily's, just to introduce her, is an author, an MFT, psychotherapist, a yogi, and did I get this right? A metaphysician? Metaphysician, right. Awesome. So tell us about your book and specifically this concept that you talk about in your book of the name work and how that helps transform grief and give it meaning. So if you can tell us just a little bit about your story and the book, which now is available right on Amazon and in local bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yes, it's available on Amazon and local bookstores. And, it's so crazy that it came out in December during this crazy COVID time.
What just like amazing timing.
And it's sort of bittersweet. I've heard it said, we're not all in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm.
Mm.
So, COVID has brought on, everyone has felt some sort of grief, whether they're in yachts, sailboats, or just paddling to, tread water. So Giving Grief Meaning, my book, I guess I'll
show it to us. Yes, again, like Amazon, you guys. You can also buy it on your website, right? So it's lilydulan.com, LILYDULAN.com. Yeah,
that's right. But the book came itself out of suffering. Maya Angelou says there's no greater pain than an untold story stuck inside of you. So that's how my work began. We lost our daughter, Kara Dulan, to SIDS in 2009. She was 2 months old, and it really knocked me past my knees.
Can you let people know what SIDS stands for?
Sudden Infant Death Syndrome.
Okay, thank you.
So SIDS, and it was a horror, and it was out of this that I really had to put my skills as a marriage and family therapist, as a yogi, as a sober woman into practice. And it happened very gradually. My book, Giving Grief Meaning, is a memoir, but it's also a method. So it's a memoir and a method. And the method in the book is called the name work.
So tell us about the name work.
So when Kara died, all I had left really was her name. So it was the work came very organically. I had to save my life, I had to put the skills I was taught to practice. Reverend Michael Beckwith said right after she passed, Lily, you can choose to grow or shrink from this tragedy. And, I chose growth. And out of that growth came the name work. I would hold to Kara's name, Kara. Kara, I missed her. There was no one speaking her name. Oh, it's time to change Kara's diaper. Oh, let's check up on Kara. Like that was no more. And I would hold to her name and I'd hike when I could in the mountains. And out of her name, these qualities gradually began to emerge. And they are, K is for kindness. A is for alignment, R is for regeneration, and A is for action. And these qualities became my North Star. I knew I wanted to do something in her loving memory. I wanted to make the light that was her life shine in some way. And for me, it made sense to go with a friend who started an orphanage, which they now call a group home, to Nepal to meet these girls in Bhaktapur, Nepal. And I was still like holding on to her name, toying around with the qualities. And it was here, in Nepal that I realized like I could teach other people to find qualities in their own name or the name of someone they love to move through any life issue. And so the qualities, kindness, alignment, regeneration, and action. Kindness, right? I have to be kind to myself first.
Right.
I have to put the oxygen mask on myself first so that I can be kind to others and the environment.
Right.
And the A, the alignment piece, is I have to act as if the world is good and right. Acting as if the universe is good, if you will, even when I don't feel it, even when I can't see it. And then the R for regeneration is what lady, committing to practices of positivity and, regeneration, however they may look for you. I mean, I certainly have some ideas in Giving Grief Meaning.
Right.
And then A, to bring that out into action. And that's us here today, sharing our hearts,
Right. Yeah, totally. Of course.
Finding the synchronicity.
Right.
And so in the book, this is where the name work piece comes in.
Right. So tell us a little bit about like the name work in action. So is Kara for everyone to use that, or is it so choose the name of the person you're grieving?
So it's very flexible. It's not a one size fits all method. There is a Kara meditation. So what I just ran through that, I invite people to use the qualities I found in Kara's name. And if it feels right, if that feels like a North Star, go for it.
Right.
We can use our own names. We can use the names of someone we've loved and lost, or we may just use a quality. I was trying to explain to someone before, well, I don't understand. It's just a word. What do you mean? It's a word. The name market's a word. Words have power. Names have power. What we name has power. So if I'm brushing my teeth, I'm just brushing my teeth. But if I name it as an act of self-care, right, it becomes something that can be revelatory, something that can be transformative.
Right. That we assign meaning to, right?
Exactly. So like in the book, I have an A through Z dictionary of qualities to get you started. Now, at first, I couldn't work with any of the qualities in Kara's name at first. I just had to murmur little bits of a prayer I'd memorized. Like I'd be like, I am safe, I am protected. And I didn't even believe it at the time. So
to interrupt, just if someone someone watching has lost a loved one, for example, like I'm very public. I lost my mother to suicide, who I'm named after when I was 9, and her name was Lady. So if I chose to use her name, like how would I work with the name work to work on, if you use that as an example, on myself or others? Because I think people watching can really benefit from this.
Thank you. So if you feel ready to move into a name right away, that's great. If not, you can just use the qualities in the back. One affirmation that you like, but let's take Lady, because I feel there's energy there, and we talked a little bit before the interview. So let's go first with the quality of love, right?
Yeah.
When we're in grief, it's hard to even, our hearts are broken. And it's hard to even practice self-love, self-care. it's hard to get out of bed, to brush your teeth, to
Right.
just do day-to-day tasks. So perhaps an affirmation at the beginning stages of grief would be like, I treat myself with loving kindness.
Right.
Breathing in, I love myself, and breathing in, I gain strength to get through whatever it is I have to get through this day. And then the O, let's see, what am I feeling? Omnipotent. I know I'm being carried, even though I can't see it, even though I can't feel it. I know that the universe sustains me, that there's a power greater than me that sustains me through this day, even if I can't feel it, even if I can't see it.
Right.
So O is for omnipotent. V, let's say, vivacious.
Okay.
Although I do not feel it, although I may not see it, I know that spark of vivaciousness will present itself once more. I look, I remember the times of vivaciousness, of virality, of life. I honor memories. That could be the V. And then E, energy. I protect my energy. I move towards situations and circumstances with people who support my growth, who support my unfoldment, and I let go of those who don't. So it would be something like that, but that's a lot for someone in the beginning stages of grief. So what I would recommend at first is maybe just sticking with love.
Right. I love because what you just outlined is applicable to, any of us, right? Or even just that one L.
Yeah.
Right. You're just starting there, which is the first letter of your name.
Right.
But tell us, so the name work, again, like we're in this sort of place of COVID, we're moving into sort of like almost as people get vaccinated, more post-COVID. And it comes up for me that, even if you specifically haven't lost someone in, the tragic way in which you did, that people are grieving right now because there is so much loss. Yes. And grief is this topic that most of us are really uncomfortable with. Yes. And it's wonderful that you've given us or some tools around it. But if you could speak to the audience, Aspen and beyond, of, sort of this worldwide grief we're experiencing and how we can take the name work and your work and move through our days, if that's affirmations or just tell us more.
My mission, and this is where I feel so connected to you, Lady, is, the idea that there's such a great taboo about speaking about anything that isn't, happy or youthful. And, that's just not life. And, I want to break the taboo about speaking about grief. I mean, grief is multifaceted. Grief is not just the loss of a person. It can be, in these times of COVID, the loss of a job, certainly the loss of a person, divorce, changed life circumstances, home, all of these factors, are can bring about grief and pain. And, we're not all in the same boat, but we're in the same storm. And to be human is to wrestle with these more difficult emotions. And, the name work teaches us how to move through uncomfortable feelings because we have to feel in order to heal. So it is a memoir, and it talks about my own personal journey into healing. And hopefully people can connect to that as they move through whatever they need to move through. And And there's chapters on body image, how to treat our bodies with love and care, how to move in and through relationships, how to navigate maybe abusive relationships, and how to disengage from that. So there's something really for everyone here, how to find more healthy practices rather than numbing out on alcohol or food, or, we're human, or bad TV, or my cell phone that just beeps, we're all just kind of
very numbing. But what comes up for me too is this idea that the Buddha says, as is noted on your website, to live is to suffer. And a lot of us are suffering and we don't know why. And so it sounds like, if you could leave us with one affirmation that you could give people to wake up and say in the morning that are feeling, these, again, to your point, like there's all different types of people who may read your book, because grief is a universal feeling. It's actually something that connects us as humans. And so, what can you leave us with? What affirmation can you leave us with that you would suggest for all of us?
Well, first of all, I would just, normally that suffering's normal. It's okay. We get headaches. We want to take an aspirin to make the headache go away.
Yeah.
So I would say, I'm okay. I would leave you with, I'm okay just as I am, and you're okay just as you are. Mm-hmm. And, when we hold the space for difficult feelings, like I can feel grief if I touch down, but I'm like incredibly happy for this moment, for this connection. And and so when I hold space for both, the difficult feelings along with the joy of connection, my joy becomes more authentic.
Right.
Like grief isn't, we don't just get over, we don't get over, the tragedies in our life. I mean, that, but we move through them and we grow with more grace and dignity. Maybe not more ease, but we have a sense of grace and dignity that we bring out. So anyone who's out there, I affirm for myself that I'm okay just as I am. And you're okay just as you are. And I just connect in, the most essential practice of the name work is just connecting in.
Right.
And feeling whatever it is. It just takes a second. I can feel my heart racing because I know the time is up and I could talk forever.
So I just want to leave people. So what you're saying, I hear you saying, is really just holding space for yourself. This concept of waking up in the morning and saying to ourselves, I am okay.
Yes.
I am enough.
I am enough. I am okay. And, Louise Hay says to look in the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you, and that might feel silly at first, but it has to start. We have to fake it till we make it.
Yeah, totally. The storm or the norm.
But, I hope you'll, I hope you'll reach out, and the book is up on Amazon.
Yeah.
And 100% of the proceeds go in support of our Care Love Project, which is the foundation which we created in beloved memory of, our sweet girl. So, when you purchase the book, it is a project that seeks to be of service and seeks to connect, which is why it's so great to be here today with other connectors. I'm just sad I'm glad I got to meet you, but I hope to meet Jillian in the future too. But I feel like this was meant to be, this was meant to be.
And, on behalf of Aspen Business Connect and everyone in Aspen who's watching this, thank you so much for sharing your heart and your story and your beautiful book and the name work. So you guys, please go out and look for Giving Grief Meaning on Amazon or lilydulan.com, and see you guys next time. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you.